all I do is locks, braids, two-strand twists. It's like my forte. Some people refer to it as being a loctician because I specialize in lock hair. But we tend to do everything chemical-free as much as possible. So even product-wise, the stuff we use, like so natural, you potentially could just scoop it up, use it on you, and it's that natural. So today I'm going to give you like the basics. That's what your teacher said you needed today, which is basic natural hair, lock 101 care. And there's like so many misconceptions about locks out there, so I'm going to try to answer whatever questions you guys have on when you heard about locks, what you think the whole process of locking somebody's hair is.
So locks aren't dirty.
Locks are not dirty. That's like the basis of lesson number one. Locks are not supposed to be dirty. They're not supposed to be matty and you know, looking crazy, quote unquote. I've been washing my locks every week or every 2 weeks ever since I started. And when I started my locks, they were only like maybe 2 inches long because I used to have a perm back in the 90s and relaxer. Technically turned me off. So I used to have that, and I grew it out for like 6 months, and then after the 6 months, I cut the relaxers off, just rocked my fro for like a day after. Rocked that for like a day, and then started twisting my hair up. But I've still been washing my hair every week since. So any natural hairstylist or loctician that tells you, oh, when you put your locks in, you gotta let it sit for a month, you can't do anything to it, that's not true. That tends to only count for people who only let the stylist do their hair. If you're somebody who's comfortable doing your own hair, you can wash it as often as you want. You know, you don't have to just sit there and let it get dirty. Especially if you're somebody who works out a lot, you sweat in your scalp. You know, some people will tell you to use some people will tell you to use a dry shampoo on your hair, which tends to have a lot of alcohol in it, and that's not good. So just shampoo your hair. Don't, you know, just let it get crusty or whatever. Shampooing it, your hair is kind of like a flower, which is what one stylist told me years ago. He was like, treat it like a flower. It needs water in order to grow and be healthy. Same thing for your body. You got to drink a lot of water for it to be healthy. So same thing for your hair. Shampooing it, keeping it clean is going to help it grow and be stronger. Questions?
When you say dreadlocks, are you meaning braids?
No, that's another thing. Dreadlocks and braids are two totally different things. I noticed when I moved down south, a lot of people refer to them one and the same, but braids and dreadlocks are two different things. Braids are the process of taking 3 strands of hair and crisscrossing them over each other in a pattern. Locks are where you just twist your hair or interlock your hair. I'm going to show you how to do both. But that's where you take the hair and you start the process of it matting. It's not the same as braids. Braids you can take in and out, you know, at any given moment. Locks are more of a permanent, even though they can be taken out also, they're meant to be more permanent. And braids are have a flat look to them. Locks are more of a cylinder shape because you're manipulating them into a cylinder or cone shape as you're doing the styling on your line. So, as you'll see on my model head, this is from 2005, 2006 is model head. But it has some of the examples of what I just told you on it. It has interlocking on it, it has 2-strand twisting on it, and I believe there's a braid here somewhere. So if y'all want to come closer, I can show you the difference in what I'm talking about. So these are considered 2-strand twists or Senegalese twists. And they started off being a braid on the side of the head, and then you can stop the braid once you finish at a certain point where you parted it, and then 2-strand twist the rest of it down, or you can finger twist the rest of it down. Excuse me. Now you see how these 2 twists look different? That's because this one was more like finger twisted around the finger, like literally just like taking it in your finger and finger twisting. This is a 2-strand twist. A 2-strand twist is done when you literally, I'll take some bare hair here and show you how it's done. You take the bare hair. It's called 2-strand twist because you separate it into 2 strands, right? And then you're going to literally twist it around itself. That's how you create the 2-strand twist. And if I keep going down all the way to the end of this, it's going to end up looking like a smaller version of this. So that's to answer your question, the difference in locks and braids. Now, also you can start locks with braids. You can start locks with 2-strand twists. There's like 4 or 5 different ways to start locks. most people know the palm rolling method, which is where you take just a piece of your hair, like a section of your hair, and you will put product on it. Some people use gel because they just assume that that's going to make it whole, but for our hair textures, which are more kinky, curly, or whatever, you kind of want to stay away from gel if you can help it. And if you are going to use gel, it needs to be as natural as possible, because gels tend to dry your hair out. They dry your scalp out. So you notice you'll see people who have locks and their scalp will be real flaky. It's because their stylist slathered a whole bunch of gel on their hair to try to make the lock hold in place, when really your technique should make it hold in place, which I'll get to in a second also. But the palm rolling method to start locks is literally your 2 palms, and you would put butter or gel, you know, if that's your thing. Butter, when I say butter, I'm talking about shea butter, mango butter, cocoa butter, all the natural butters, right? And you want to use those because they're water soluble. That's another thing. Please, if you can help it, avoid anything with beeswax or petroleum in it, because neither one of those are water soluble, and they just clog your pores. They stay in your hair. You ever notice you see people with locks and they'll have like those gray chunks in their hair? That's old product that lint has attached itself to it, and they didn't get to it early enough with a pair of tweezers to get it out before it turned into that gray, would-be, linty mess. So some people, instead of taking the time to pick it out with tweezers, they just dye their hair black and keep it moving, because it's too much. They do. It's too much built up in there for them to worry about picking it all out. So they'll just do a color rinse over it and keep it moving. So, but the palm rolling method, you take your 2 palms and you literally roll the hair between the palms. And if you have product on this, it's just going to stay. You just keep on palm rolling, keep on palm rolling, and then it gets tighter up the more you palm roll it. And then you would take a silver hair clip, you know, those little duck clips that you see in the beauty supply store. You would take that clip and clip the root, and then this would stay, you know, with the product as a cylinder, and then you keep on going in sections. Now, also, some people, when they're doing lock maintenance, they'll tend to take like a rat tail comb and box out like box braids, because they want it super neat like they see in the magazine. I'm more of just like, I just take my finger and do sections, because I like it to look more natural. I don't want it to look boxed out and gel down, you know, because for me, somebody whose locks are too neat, it's almost like you got locks but you still got a perm mentality, so you're trying to keep every strand in place, which keeping every strand in place defeats the purpose of having locks to begin with. Like, they're supposed to be free and do their thing, but within reason. So that's the palm roller method. So you can palm roll it to start on, 2-strand twist them, or the braid. I don't see a braid on this. I'm going to do a braid for you guys. To do a braid, it all depends on the stylist. The question was, what's the most effective locking technique? It all depends on the stylist, what you're comfortable doing. For me, I tend to stick to a combination of interlocking and palm rolling. When somebody already has locks and I'm doing them, you know, their regular maintenance. Now for started locks, it's all about the look the person wants when they're first starting. You know, some people like the 2-strand twist because it looks like a temporary lock, and if they change their mind, they can take them out later. But some people want the palm rolling, some people want the interlocking. But I'm about to show you the braid method, and then I'll show you the interlocking. So for the braid method, the difference is you take the 3 strands of hair instead of 2. You're going to cross them over each other one at a time between your fingers. So this is a braid. Your question was, what's the difference between a lock and a braid? This is a braid. So you can take this out tomorrow. This is a 3-strand. Actually, do a certification class for that. It's so hard to find. It's hard to find the kinky hair mannequin. What you have to do is go online and do a Google search, because the beauty supply stores, they tend to run from kinky hair unless you're selling it in the bulk pack to do braids and 2-strand twists.